This is Jim McCarthy, and welcome back to my ongoing series on strategy. This is the third video in this series, and today I am going to take you through the first two major sections of the Prometheus Strategic Planning System: Design the Future and Target for Success. Let's begin by talking about the elements of strategy. At its most basic level, strategy has four simple elements: knowing where you want to end up, knowing what to put your energy against, knowing how to apply your energy, and knowing when to move on. Any strategic system that does not deal with all four of these elements is deficient and not likely to lead to sustained success. In the Prometheus process, each of these necessary elements is addressed by an imperative or phase in the process. So let's look at imperative 1, design the future. The first, and importantly first step in strategic planning, is to identify the future you want to create. In the Prometheus process, the desired future is called the future picture. It is a very hard, very objective, very measurable picture of the future you want to create. We use a future picture instead of a vision because visions, while often powerful, are not always sufficiently clear, and visions are even harder to make happen. When you think of a picture, it is very easy to see what it is showing you, and the more pixels it has, the clearer it is and the easier it is to make happen. The future picture must be a clear, compelling, understandable, objective, measurable picture of your business as it would be described in the future. In the Prometheus process, the pixels begin with the key descriptors, which are the things you must get right in order to create your future picture. You need to break the future picture down into separate, very descriptive elements that ensure a balanced future, shared and understood by all. Elements such as your future financial position, your future market position, what business areas do you want to be in, how do you want your business to be perceived in the marketplace, and so on. Accompanying the future picture are strategic measures of merit, those measures that tell you when you have achieved your future picture or when you're on the right course to make it happen. These are not normally the same measures you use at a tactical or action level. A future picture, to be of value, must have measures associated with it. Absent measures, the chances of making it happen will be very small indeed. In any event, if you have no measures, you will not know when you have arrived or even if you are on the right track. You need to ask yourself, how many of the measures you are currently using actually reveal whether you're going to be more profitable tomorrow than you were yesterday? In creating your strategy, the Prometheus process assumes that the people in a business generally know more about their company than anyone else in the world. It also assumes that they will make and execute smart plans if they have a disciplined process which takes place in an open planning environment. The more people who are involved in the planning process, the faster it goes, and the more likely that the plan will be well executed. For companies, this means including people at all levels. For individual business owners, this may mean creating virtual mastermind groups, getting focused coaching, working with joint venture partners, or your suppliers, or outsourcing partners, or any other means of creating and reviewing your plans. It also means that as the planning merges into execution, there will be very few errors made as a result of confusion over direction or disagreement with the plan. Now, let's talk about the second part of the Prometheus system, target for success. There are a very large number of things against which you can apply limited resources. You know intuitively that some of these things will have much higher impact than others. The business or individual that targets the right things, the centers of gravity, will be far more effective at a much lower cost than those who have no disciplined way to choose and affect targets. It is also important to remember that all strategy takes place in the context of a system, and that systems have such annoying characteristics as inertia and resistance to change. A system is defined as a group of interacting, interrelated, or interdependent elements forming a complex whole. For example, your body is a system, your market is a system, and your business is a system. In order to move from the current state to your future picture, you will need to analyze the current systems and determine how much, if any, they need to change in order to help you achieve your future picture. Systems have centers of gravity, the handful of things in a system that produce greater impact when changed. The best way to change a system, that is your business or your market, is by affecting its key leverage points or centers of gravity. If you want to put your company or market on a new and more successful track, it is necessary to create rapid and hard-to-reverse system change. To create rapid, hard-to-reverse system change, you must change system centers of gravity. In order to do this, you must first identify what those critical few leverage points are in your system, and then decide how and when they must change, and how and when you will help them to change. You do this by clearly identifying what those centers of gravity need to look like, or how they need to be acting, in other words, the desired effect, so as to help you achieve your strategic goals. Remember, the enemy is the system. Focus on it to the exclusion of all else. Remember also that action against the center of gravity will give you far more return than action against something that is not a center of gravity. The time you spent on identifying centers of gravity and carefully identifying desired effects will repay itself many-fold as you begin execution of your plan. The essence of Imperative 2, Tiger for Success, is to understand what systems you need to change, your own company and or the market, determine the centers of gravity in the systems against which you will put your resources, and decide the effect you want to have on the centers of gravity. It is most important to emphasize that at this point you should not worry at all about how you are going to go about producing the desired effect. That is part of implementation. Stay at the strategic level as long as you can stand it. A good working hypothesis is this. If you can identify your center of gravity and decide what you would like it to have happen to it, there will always be a way to make it happen. It may not be easy, and it may not be the obvious way, but there will be a way. This will lead you to the final steps in the Prometheus planning system, making the changes needed in the centers of gravity. In other words, implementing your plans and planning for the next evolution of your business. In the next video in this series, I will take you through the last two elements of the Prometheus planning system, campaigning to win and finishing with finesse. This is Jim McCarthy. Thank you for listening, and if you have any comments, please feel free to post them on my blog at www.prometheusstrategy.com/blog. Thank you. Good day.